So once again, this is a Dean VNXM Vendetta 7-string that I got in about 2010, 2009. And I'm going to be using a 7-string set, skinny top, heavy bottom, Ernie ball, Cobalt strings. I like the way they sound and feel, but I don't like how fast they rust. So I think I'm going to go to the normal skinny top, heavy bottom 7-string set after this for this guitar. So it's probably the last time I use Cobalt. I have found that the Cobalt bass strings last a lot longer, but that also might just be because I don't play my basses as much as I play guitars. So that's something to take into consideration. Let's get started by cutting these strings off. Loosen the tension a little bit. I want to do this so the guitar doesn't undergo a ton of sudden stress. This was my first 7-string guitar, and it's still my only 7-string guitar since I went right to 8 after this. And I think 8 is where I'm going to stop. Basically the end of my comfort and my need, because with the kind of music I play. So anyways, I love this 7-string. It was fantastic to get it. It's really cheap, but man, Dean makes great budget instruments. My Dean 5-string bass, which was my first 5-string bass, and my only still, it's been fantastic. It's taken quite a beating. I've played a bunch of shows with it, I covered it in stickers, and it still plays and sounds so comfortably. This guy was out of commission for a while though. I had a bunch of dead frets up high. I got the strings changed one time, and I think I switched gauges back before I knew exactly what I was doing. And it caused a bunch of frets to be dead. So it wasn't until this year, so about 2 years, maybe 2 or 3, that I didn't really play this guitar because on the high end there was just a bunch of dead notes. I'd play a note and it wouldn't ring out. It would just be the same note for 6 or 7 frets up on the high end here. So that was really annoying. So it wasn't until this year when I learned to do all this stuff properly that I was able to actually fix my own guitar. And now I'm playing this thing almost every time I play guitar in general. I switch between guitars a lot because of the different songs I play along with. But it's great to be back on this guy. It's so comfortable. So fun. This fret marker's like really sunken in. Alright, now for a bit of a cleaning. Very dusty and covered in skin and dandruff and whatnot. This is a muffle cuff. I don't know if they're sold anymore. They probably aren't. But these were made by Charles Haswell's wife, Kaylee, and Charles is the guy who made Buried Alive, B-E-R, Buried Alive, which is one of my favorite artists. She made a bunch of these, all different kinds of beads and stuff, and I bought a couple. So it basically works the same way a fret wrap or a jimmy clip works, just getting rid of the noise that comes from behind the nut when you're playing. But for jamming at home, it's totally fine. This is a pop socket I had made with my logo that used to be on my phone a couple years ago when these were really popular. And now it just lives on this guitar. She's got plenty of scratches, plenty of dings and dents and chips and stuff. I think that's like the main reason I wanted a 7-string is because I wanted to learn Fear Factory songs. And I think I used it for a couple Dream Theater as well, because I know John Petrucci dips his toes in 7 strings. But 8 strings are all the rage these days, and now I own 2 of them. So yeah, I would like a nicer 7-string someday. I was looking at the 7-string version of the newest 8-string I got, but based on the experience I'm having with that 8-string, I'm not going to get the other one. It's super light too, like really, really light. That's what I want. I want locking tuners for this. No, these are really tight, which is very good. These are pretty good too. This is a new tool I got, the Octopus. This rag is so stained after all those old guitars I worked on recently. Alright, next is this Tune It stuff. This guitar, it'll just go with the nut and bridge. Make sure to put this back on before you do the strings. Count about 2 peg spaces here. Maybe that's a little much. Here, about 2. Pull it taut and back that up, and then pull it in to the winder up to that point. And I'm gonna kink it so it doesn't slip out as easily. And I'm gonna wind it, and we're gonna keep tension going this way so that it can spin without having slack in there. Makes it go way faster, way easier, and you'll get a clean wind. That. Beautiful. Cool. And that one's done. Now you just gotta repeat that 6 more times. If you're gonna play in drop D, I would recommend either power slinky or skinny top heavy bottom. You'll get faster at this the more you do it, obviously. That little technique where I keep tension on the string as I'm winding it made all the difference. It made a string change job from an hour to, like, 10 minutes if I'm trying to go quickly. I do it by hand until it gets one wraparound where the string is overlapping itself, at least. And then, I keep moving it over there. Then I grab the winder. I usually keep this guitar in standard or drop D. Nothing adventurous. Okay. Guitar is restrung. Now what we gotta do is we gotta get it in tune. Then we gotta stretch the strings, tune it again, and then we'll do a final polish, and that'll be it. I'm just getting them kind of roughly in tune because I'm gonna stretch them out and detune them again anyway. We're gonna stretch them out by pressing down on some of the frets. I usually go 1, 3, 5, 7, 12. Well, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 12. So just pull up here, but keep it on the bridge so you don't like have it jump out. And push down on the fret and just give it some tugs. Stretch the string out. Now after you do this, your strings are going to be all out of tune again, which is good. And then the first couple times you play it, the strings are going to go out of tune quickly, especially if you do a bunch of bending. For these higher strings, you don't want to tug on them as much because they can break even easier. Now we tune again. They all pretty much went out of tune about a half step. Now it sounds good. Now you're ready to go, pretty much, if everything else is all set on your guitar. But what I'm going to do right now is a little more cleaning. I'm just going to clean it, polish it, and we're done. I sweat a lot, so sweat is what dirties up my guitars the fastest. No matter how much I play guitar, dust accumulates in these areas. Just because of how they sit on the stand, you know? This is a Dunlop Body Gloss. Cream of Carnauba. So it's not made for unfinished guitars. This also kind of conceals those cracks a little bit. All there's left to do is play it. So thanks for watching. And hopefully I'll be back soon enough with some more of this kind of stuff. See ya.